What a really scary scene it is today in the gospel. Has anyone ever been on a boat in the middle of the sea or the ocean or even in Lake Michigan or any body of water where there are like really rolling and rolling waves? You know, it's really scary, especially on stormy seas. I once made the mistake of being invited to and accepting an invitation to go on a deep sea fishing trip. Deep sea, right, with my dad and my brother-in-laws. We were all deep on this deep sea fishing boat. And after a few minutes of being on the boat, and we were all away from the dock, we were in the water, those waves started to get to me, okay? The waves were really rocking and rolling, if you know what I mean. And I didn't realize that I had extreme motion sickness. It was terrible, okay? So I started to feel really super sick, and I couldn't take it, okay? And we were supposed to be on this boat for like hours and hours, so what am I gonna do? So I decided it'd be a good idea to maybe get some rest, go below deck, hang out down there in the cabin. But you know what? It was still rocking and rolling down in the cabin as well. And it got worse and worse. I got more and more sick. So I had to take one of those, Dramamine, motion sickness pills, I took it, and immediately I started to feel really sleepy, really woozy, really out of it, drowsy, drugged out. And my dad and my brother-in-laws were having a grand time. They were having a grand time. And every time they would have something on the hook, they would yell and scream, and then they would come downstairs, and they would say, "Father Dindo, it's your turn to reel it in. It's your turn." And I would just go, "No thanks, no thanks. Go ahead, you guys take it all. You take the fish," and then they would just laugh in my face, okay? Well, being scared is no joke. Being on a boat is no fun when it's like that, at all. And I could really relate to those apostles with Jesus, but the difference was this. That there was Jesus, right? Jesus was in that boat. Jesus was present. And Jesus would never, ever let anything bad happen to any of his disciples. He would always be there for them to save them. He would never laugh in their face at all, right? So in life, we always go through things, not maybe in the boat, but in our regular life, that, trouble happens. We might get into an accident. We might have, terrible things, health issues happen, health scares. We may face some uncertainty with our employment, or we have scares with, our finances, trying to make our bills. We might have problems with our families, worrying about those kids and the grandkids, worrying about their future, worrying about the safety, okay? Also, there's a lot of worries about our country and what we're going under right now, all the terrible things. We just worry, but the most important thing we worry about is, what we're gonna have for dinner, right? That's what I worry about, what's for dinner. Just a joke, not really, okay. Worry, fear. The gospel, Jesus tells those disciples on the boat something. He tells them after they wake him up, "Why are you terrified?" Right? That was like his question. Why are you terrified? He says this too, "Do you not yet have faith?" Do you not yet have faith? Jesus isn't really angry about them waking him up or, coming to him and telling him what the problem is, going to him. He's not upset about that with the disciples for coming to him and calling him, right? Jesus just wants to know, he wants to know, why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? Jesus is wondering about their faith. He's wondering about their faith. St. Mary, Jesus tells you, "I am with you till the end of time. I'm right here, right now, with you, right now." Jesus tells you, have faith. Have faith. Have faith in me. It's so funny. Every time, I'm struggling with something, every time a disaster strikes at the parish, with my ministry, with parishioners, I get stressed out, right? And I always do the same thing every time. I call my mom, all right? I call my mom. I don't know about other, I do know this. Most priests, if you don't know, they love their moms and their mama's boys. That's okay. Father Sam is the same way, right? Priests need their moms. And when I call my mom, I FaceTime with my mom. I love that technology because it's like she's right there. She answers her phone. She looks at me, and I look at her in her family room. She's always watching, something on TV. And she tells me, "Where are you? Where are you?" I don't know why she always wants to know where I am. She can see it. I'm in the church, right? So anyways, then I kind of tell her all that's going on and whatever drama's happening in my life. And she looks at me at this very quizzical, puzzled look, like, what are you doing, And she's looking at me and she says this, "Father Dindo, Father Dindo." My mom calls me Father Dindo, okay? "Where is your faith?" That's her number one question. Where is your faith? Like what Jesus said today to the apostles. "Have you gone to Jesus?" And I would look at her and say, "No, I went to you first. I wanted to ask you what you would do." And she goes, "Nope, go to Jesus." So I pray and pray and pray. And you know what? I always get this insight. I always get this wisdom when I pray in front of Jesus in either the tabernacle, or the Blessed Sacrament. That insight that comes from the Holy Spirit that tells me why things had to be the way they had to be, why things might have turned out the way they turned out. I don't know why things happen, but they do happen for a good reason. And only God knows why. Only Jesus knows why. So go to Jesus. Jesus is with you. Go to Jesus. Go to him always with your fears. Never be afraid of anything with him by your side. Jesus will be your rock always. Jesus will take care of everything. I promise you guys that. Jesus always takes care of Father Dindo, so I know he'll take care of you as well, all right? So I have one question for you now, St. Mary. One question. Where is your faith?